week is going to be a sum up of last week's rather long video, which was a virtual class with me on jewelry assemblage. And we did, as you remember, worked on this very large, massive piece, but we also worked on some simple pieces as well. It's really time to get busy and get stuff made. I'm seeing a lot of stuff moving in my Etsy jewelry store, and a lot of people in the Bisou Boutiques creative group are noticing that they're selling things too. But the reason I did the long class last week was because I wanted to give you a class. It would have been the same as if you came here. Plus, I'm also teaching Donna, who actually does know how to do some assemblage. She did some with me many years ago, but she wants to kind of get back into it. So I finished embellishing this piece. I'm going to show you the value of finishing off the back of an assemblage piece the best that you can so it looks neat. And I may make some adjustments on this yet. What do you think, Miss Kate? And we'll just kind of see what happens. At the end, we're going to do a small cagework piece on filigree. So this video won't be terribly long because Javi and I got plans for later.
What?
Well, Javi, Rob, and I've got plans to go get an iPad so I can do video conferencing. Hey guys,
Yay.
how about that? You
Good
could maybe
for you.
do a video lesson with me with Skype pretty soon.
That'd be good.
Would that be cool?
Yeah, it could be very helpful for people.
Yeah, so we got to get on it. So get on over here and I'm going to show you the lineup. Okay? Okay, so here's another view of the massive piece all finished off. I actually have to go over this another time and make sure that I haven't missed anything. I see a little piece of paint there I want to get off. Make sure no glue is showing. Make sure that it's as immaculate as it can be, because in a case like this, when I use matte lacquer, you know, if you use a gloss lacquer, it's a little bit more forgiving. The light reflects it and you don't see little itty bitty glue globs and stuff. But I wanted to go with matte because I wanted that soft look, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more cleanup. And also too, I'm probably going to put a few more pearls on the chain, and I may adjust the length a little bit. Or I may let my buyer do that, since I already know who the buyer is and she can do that, and she may prefer to do it herself and get it where she wants it.
May I interject something?
Yes.
Yeah. One thing that I like the demonstration that you've done here is that your chain proportion and the way you've designed it, it balances out with the piece. Whenever I see that, it always, I don't know.
Well, that's a big thing with me. A lot of times, and I think I've mentioned this in videos before too. And like I say, this really isn't done. The front is done, but this chain part is not. I'm still working on it. A lot of times people will make a rather large piece and then they put a very simple little chain on it, or very skinny little beads, like 4 or 5 millimeter or 6 millimeter beads. A big piece needs big beads or triple chains with stuff hanging off of it. If you're going big, go big all the way. Don't go big in the front and then go ditzy at the back. It looks like you didn't finish it. It's just balance. So think about it. When you make a big piece, you need to have the right stuff to go around the back. So if you don't have big enough beads, you're either going to have to go make some polymer clay beads, which many of you can do, or get several chains, big heavy chains, make your own chain, whatever, use several heavy cords, or braid a very thick piece of sari, or seam binding, or whatever it is, fiber that you like. But it's got to balance with this, and that's what I'm working on. I want to show you to the back. I believe in finished backs. Now with assemblage, it gets difficult because you can see you're not going to be able to stay completely on your base crescent. I mean, it does go off. So when you're done, you clean up all your glue strings, get that all done, and then you may, if your pieces aren't plated or don't match your back piece, then you're going to want to paint it. I painted several layers, and I did 2 coats of spray lacquer on this. Now, it might have even been nice to do a very light coat of diamond glaze, or even better, a very light coat of ice resin on that. But I think this is sufficient. I didn't want to get too thick. And of course, here's my sig tag. I put it up here because I had a space where this needed some fill. And that's the thing with assemblage. You look for holes. You don't want to leave places that need fill. So that's why that's there instead of right here. Besides which, this would have probably rubbed on the person right on their chest bone.
I was thinking of that, too.
If you have fibromyalgia, that's one of the stress points.
Yeah.
And I always think of that when you make jewelry on a heavy piece like this, you fibromyalgia, you probably aren't going to wear it very long. But actually, I did wear this for about half an hour. It didn't bother me at all. And I do have fibro, so anyway, but that's just the point on that. Still working on this one, but finish your backs. And I did this one with craft store paint, and the shiny is Pearl Lumiere, which we do carry the Lumiere cider packs at bisouboutiques.com. And once again, everything used in these videos, except for this piece of stray chain, which was mine, you can find at bisouboutiques.com, and we will give you some SKU numbers as we go along. So I'm going to set this one aside now. Let's just set it over there in Javi's workspace. Okay, this is one that we did last week. You might remember it. This has the matte finish on it and several colors. It's been distressed back. I added the small button, and then I just put some simple vintage pearl chain with some little check pearl dangles. It's very
I would wear
pretty.
that.
Actually, this is on my Etsy jewelry store right now, so it's available for sale, and it's not expensive either. So if you're interested in having one of my pieces, why, this one is on there. If you want to go, it's Bisou Boutiques Jewelry. Just punch that in. This one is another one I finished. You might remember that we worked on it last week. And this one I used some thicker Rollo. I think this is a 6mm Rollo chain that I used, and then I entwined the pearl chain stuff around it and hung some little accoutrements there, some little pearls and stuff.
Very lovely.
And
very balanced.
this one I did sign. This will be in a place where it shouldn't be rubbing too much, so I did sign that one there. And I'll have that on the store for long too. And these are pieces that you can sell for $35, $40, and that's a good impulse range. We're finding 15 to 50 sells really well, so
Can I ask
these
you a
little
question?
pieces would work. Yes.
Okay. When you put the chain around it, you just simply wound it around and
Yeah.
it stays because
Yeah,
it doesn't
because of
move?
the way I caught it here, and that's
Yeah.
another video. I don't want to go into it too
No,
much
but
right
just
now
curious.
because
Yeah.
it'll take time and it's another
okay.
video. But yeah,
It stays, basically.
If you're enterprising and you like to teach yourself, winding this chain is not going to be hard for you. Chances are you already know how to do it. But that's basically it. It's
So
thicker
someone
chain,
could attempt
and
it
then
and-
just roll
yeah.
it, just roll it around it. And sometimes at the end you'll have a little bit of a problem getting it to finish off in just the right place. But you know, it's like everything else, you monkey with it till you get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's nice.
so
Lovely.
there's that one that we finished.
I love this
This
one,
is one we
actually.
started last week, didn't finish. I put the bee on this week, and I put the rivets in, and I'll probably finish it a lot like that last piece. And it'll be something simple and very pretty and feminine that you can wear for summer. It won't have to cost a lot of money. It won't cost you a lot to make it, and it won't take you a lot of time. What I would suggest when you're painting brass, I've suggested this before, do a big long session. Get yourself all your raw brass accessories and stampings and things that you want to paint. Degrease them first. That's very important. Put them in a bath of hot water with ivory soap. Wash them real good, and then rinse them off really, really good. Sometimes in a vinegar bath is good. Let them dry really well. You can use a heat gun. Be sure they're very dry before you paint them, and then just spend an afternoon or a day painting and just get everything lined up. So that's that one. Okay, now, here's the piece that I did as a demo to show you what we're going to do today. Very, very simple. Is that all coming up there, Javi? It's just a little delicate. Is that showing good?
It'll look good with so many things.
You getting it there, honey? Yeah. Just a simple filigree. It's Fil 03040. It's the finding we used. And here's the back. It's spaced. You need 2 filigree. Why is that? Because these little filigree are made from thinner brass and they're scratchy. And if you don't face the back, they may scratch your wearer. Not a lot. I mean, you might get away with it. Or you could put a brass disc on the back, but then it would show through your filigree. So this is going to be a cagework technique, like Miriam Haskell jewelry. Very, very, very simple. Nothing to it. And I'm going to attempt to do it on camera for you very quickly. Give you the idea. It won't be perfect because we're having to go fast, But you're going to have totally the idea, and then you can sit and you can perfect it on your own. So this is what we're going to do. First, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to show you the two filigree that I have selected. And once again, this is Fil 03040, which is a round filigree raw brass. I've painted it with regular blue paint from the craft store acrylic, and then I went over it with Pearl Lumiere, which we do sell. Lumiere Exciter packs would be in the metallic kit, I think. And then I riveted to it this piece. It's a piece like this.
I wondered what you did. I couldn't even tell.
Yeah, it's riveted to that.
Oh,
so you've
my,
got your
looks like
floral. See, that's the piece that's got the pearls set into it.
So much dimension.
Okay. And I already did the riveting. Guys, we did riveting how many times now? If you wanted to see how to rivet, just go back through the videos. There are some on riveting only. So we're not going to rivet it. I already did it to save time. Now what we need to do is we need to put that on there. And I'm going to center it with a bead. Well, we don't want that hole in that bead showing. So here's how it goes. I'm trying not to have shaky hands. I actually didn't even drink coffee today. That was for you guys. What a sacrifice. But I have here some 28 gauge gold beadsmith wire, okay? Because it's a good wire. And I'm going to clip off maybe 18 inches of it, maybe. I'm eyeballing it. Watch it doesn't hit you in the face. Straighten it out, get the kinks out of it, okay? I should show you on the camera. Straighten it out, get the kinks out of it. I hope this goes well. I did this on camera before. I love to bead and I love to cage, but I usually don't like people watching me because my hands will shake a little bit. And then sometimes, you know, I don't have this perfected to a science. What I know is I know the old jewelry pieces and I know how it ought to look. But anyway, what I did is I've got it halfway in the middle of this long piece of wire. Okay, so I've got my bead up here. And now I'm going to try to get that down even to the bottom of the bead. Can you see? There. How the four pinched it together. And now I'm going to twist it just a little bit. You getting that, hubby? I hope it's not blurry.
What gauge wire was that again?
28 gauge. Okay, so now I've got a little twist there to hold that in place and keep the holes anchored. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two ends, and if you'll notice, this little rose is actually, let's see, 4 layers of brass that's riveted together by hand. This is made in the United States. It is Fig 07308. We have it in raw brass. We have it in the satin matte brass too, if you want to get it in satin matte. But I'm going to take both of these stray ends and poke them down through that rivet hole. And by the way, that is a 332 rivet. That's what I always use. I love tube rivets, and I use 332 size. Pull that up there flat straight through. You see that? I've got something on that. Got it off. Now, there's a hole here too. This is also 332. So now what I've got to do is I've got to bring this through this hole too. Both of them. And pull it up. Straight, and don't get this wire kinked, guys. You will be so sorry. Aha, someone's back from the post office. It must be Jordan. So that's in there real tight. You see that, guys? Pulled up tight. And I didn't paint the back of this, and there's a reason for that, because I'm going to face it. I'm going to put this opposing piece of filigree on there. Okay, now I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm not going to do anything except I'm going to take and twist that just a little bit to kind of hold it. Yeah, she had to move. See, I'm not keeping my hands on camera. This is just a little bit harder for me to do on camera than some other things. Okay, so I have a little bit of twist under there to kind of hold it in place, but not a lot. Okay, now, this is critical. I'm going to turn this piece over. Now I have to be sure that I match this up just exactly the same way. Don't get, you know, look to see where your pattern is. So, because if you don't, then you can still wire it, but it just makes it wonky. And I'm going to pull my wires down here to the bottom from inside. See, they're right inside. It's like a sandwich. I'm making a filigree sandwich. Okay, now here's where you got to get it neat. And I start doing one side. And you want to take as small the stitches as you can and just loop it through. If you want to use a beading needle, you can. I don't. I just pull the wire through. See? Tight.
This fascinates me.
Just tight. Then another one and go through these holes. And you are going to see it a little bit. I used to be able to get this so that you wouldn't hardly see it at all, but I don't do it as often anymore, so I need to perfect my technique right along with you. But I'm trying to go for the smallest stitches that I can manage. And I want to go ahead and do this whole piece. And see, I missed a hole there, but that's okay. I'm just showing you for basic technique's sake today. I'm not worrying about perfection. Perfection comes later.
So it doesn't loosen up or anything?
I can't do this, you know, in a few minutes on YouTube and have it be perfect. And you know, it's kind of like we said last week, you know, it could be kind of like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Do you really want to watch somebody do this whole
No, we get
little,
in the technique.
kind, you know.
And it stays in place as you go.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
see
hold
you're
it tight.
holding it.
I'm holding it very tightly, and I'm being careful not to cross my wire. Now, some of you expert beaders out there, I'm sure you know even better ways. But this wire is stiff enough. And I'll be honest with you, I've seen some folks out there doing caging in the past, and people are getting way better at it the more they understand the old vintage jewelry, because these are techniques that come from the old vintage jewelry. But there's just a certain feel for it, and I kind of think that the more you know about the old jewelry, especially Miriam Haskell jewelry, just by looking at it and handling it, if you have the opportunity, or if you own a few pieces,
I wish I had
you
one.
will learn more than taking a master class from a master beader who doesn't know anything about vintage jewelry. The piece doesn't have heart somehow. You kind of have to have a love. And that's why I love these old stampings, because they're made from the old dies that made the original old pieces.
I think that's remarkable that you're able to get that.
Well, it's not rocket science, but it's just doing it. Being fearless. You gotta be a little fearless when you're gonna do it on camera, because people who bead, you know, they get fussy and they don't want to see bad work, and we don't want to do bad work, and we don't want to teach you bad work. But this works for me, and let me tell you what, I've been doing this I've been caging for maybe 15 years, and I've sold a lot of my work, and I've never gotten any of it back for repairs. So the work was good enough, but it can always be better. Now I'm starting on the other side with the other free piece, so that I can meet in the middle, and then I'll show you the twist off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hide our wire down in between in the sandwich. Now, if you were just making a design beaded to this top, you would do all your twist off inside. And then you would put this on the back. But see, all we did was we just riveted a piece on. And then we wired this on. And let me tell you what, this is strong. This is sturdy. This is not coming off of here. And isn't it nice to kind of do some cool stuff that doesn't require glue? You know? I have no problem with using glue. You guys know I do a lot of glue. You know, so long as you use a good quality glue and you are careful with the use of it. But I take some pride in here and there doing a piece that has absolutely no glue in it whatsoever. All cold connections. And caging with wire is a type of a cold connection. Just like riveting. Rivet's not the same as riveting, of course, but it holds your piece together, and it's a cold connection. Does not require heat, does not require glue. So see, I want to get that in there just as tight. You know, we're almost done.
I love it. I don't know what else to say. I never saw you do this.
That's going to stick up a little bit, but I can go back to that later. Yeah, you want to get it tight as you can. You don't want lumps and bumps in here. You don't want it kinked. That will look nasty. You're going to have to take it apart. You can. It's easy to clip it out and start over, but why do that if you don't have to, right?
Right.
To me, using a needle on here would just make it clumsier, but maybe for you it would make it less clumsy. So to each his own. Anyone who has constructive criticism, please feel free to make it, so long as you're kind and loving and helpful. And anyone who has questions, feel free to ask them, because I will be watching. And I will come back in a day or two and be happy to answer your questions insofar as I'm able. And again, like I say, we have all these parts at bcboutiques.com, so everything you need to get started, including the wire, is there. Okay, we are at the end of the road.
Did you try to finish off exactly across from where you started?
Yes, I
Okay.
did.
That's the way you did.
Yes. And now I'm going to get pliers and pull that up in there. Now here, this is where it's a little tricky because it could kink. It didn't.
Oh, yay.
Okay, so now this is the twist off. And it's as simple as this. And when you do the twist off, don't do it too hard. I crisscross it, I cross its legs.
I don't think they can see, Brenda.
Well,
Yeah, no, you're showing them now.
I'm doing the best I can.
I know, but it's so critical.
Well, I can't get my hands out of there and do it, so.
That's okay.
You see how I crisscrossed it?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm twisting it. You don't want to do too many twists, and you don't want to do it too hard. And you can just take it and twirl it. But don't do it too tight and too hard.
What will happen?
It'll snap right off,
Uh-oh.
and you will be sorry. Okay, and now I'm going to twirl it inside. So I'm going to come this way.
I love this.
Put some on my back in there. Twirl it inside. You don't want this to show. This goes inside. Tamp that down in there.
What
Okay.
an amazing thing.
Okay, so now see it's faced. You could put your SIG tag there. You could glue that on because it wouldn't show through here. This is on here. And the only thing that remains, you can move that into place a little bit. The only thing that remains for us to do then would be take, and in these little depressions here, set flat back rhinestones, which we carry all kinds of colors at Bissell Boutiques, or no hole pearls. You'd want a 1.5 or a 2 millimeter. We have those at Bissell Boutiques too. And then after that, you would take chain and put it right through here and right through here. Make your necklace. And then as you can see on this one, I took a couple and went through these two little holes here at the bottom. I put a jump here and a jump here, and then I took a central one and I hung a bunch of check glass pearls. And I'm not real done with this either. I think I might hang some more, check glass pearls and whatever going up here. But that's it. And now you have a beautiful neck. Yeah. More likely that people would wear a piece like this and you would sell a piece like this quickly. Because less going on. People sometimes they'll admire the artwork and they want the artwork, and sometimes they'll even put it on the wall in their house and save it and say, oh, I have a piece of that person's artwork. But this is probably what they would be more likely to wear. So then, I'll finish that, and I'll probably have this on my Etsy store too. And you can see that did not take that long.
And it wasn't that hard.
No, it really wasn't that hard once you get your technique down. And then you could sit and make a bunch of them, and you could even connect them up. Like I had a couple. These were. I was gonna put those on that big honker. I don't know where I said it's over there. And but you could even like go. Like have bigger pieces and hang them all cattywampus, like 5 different sizes or different types, and make a necklace and hook them together. And you just build from there. But this is the start of it. That's the very start of it.
Thank you so much.
So, well, you're welcome. And next time, if you don't, you should do one.
I would.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
like
you
them to
would.
see somebody that's never done it before
You know what?
do this, because I want them
Maybe
to
next
try.
week we'll do that, because we're going to need something fast and easy next
Okay.
week. Maybe next week we'll put Dawn on here
Yeah.
in my place and say, okay, now here's Donna doing it. You
Yeah,
can
if
do
Donna
it.
can do it, you can do it.
So I'm going to show you the parts again. This is the big cornucopia. Fig 9328.
That's just beautiful.
Yeah, we
I
use that a
just
lot.
Love it.
This is the sprig. Well, you can see it right here.
Did they
This is
see how
sprig.
cute that looked with
It's
the bumblebee on it? Did they really see that? That's got a little bee on it.
Yeah, we did show them.
I know, but it's so cute.
This is Fig 04150. The bumblebee that Donna is in love with is Fig 04132. I've got some more in here that's enameled. This is a bigger one. Here's the little one that's enameled. Or it's got paint on it. The round filigree again that we use for the Cagework is Fig 03040. The big wings that we use. I don't know where she put it now.
Oh, I'm supposed to be over here doing my job. I get all
That's this one.
Watching you.
Yeah, that was the original. It's Fig 05022, and then again the rose that's in the middle is Fig 07308. So have a creative week. We have plenty in stock. You can see these bags are full. We got lots for you, and I think we got another shipment of raw brass today and some brass off.
We got a lot of stuff.
We have a lot of stuff to go up there and count and put away. So have a happy week, and maybe next week, Donna, you'll cage a piece for us. What do you think?
I'm up to it.
You
I just want to do, whatever.
Well, all right, then. That's
Whatever
what we're doing
helps.
next week, guys. So
Okay.
give it a shot.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Don't let anybody tell you you can't, because you can. You always can. And come join us at the Bisou Boutiques Creative Group and show us what you made. We'd love to see it. And come visit us at bisouboutique.com, because that's what supports us being able to do the free instruction, which we love to do for you. Your patronage of that site is very, very much appreciated. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week.